What do you do when life feels empty? When nothing really excites you anymore? The things you used to enjoy, the life you once dreamed of, it all feels hollow. And it's not like you're sad or depressed. It's more like an indifference. Like nothing really seems to matter. You go through the motions, but something always seems to be missing. In this video, I want to explore with you how we get into this state, but more importantly, how we can get out of it, because I can assure you that most of us are looking in the wrong place. A while ago, I found myself in this state too. After a year of big life events, life lessons, and even more emotional turmoil, I was left with an emptiness. I thought about the life that I once dreamed of and the things that would light a spark in me, and I felt nothing. No future I could think of felt exciting. Everything felt like a have to instead of a want to. I felt like I was constantly dragging myself through the day because I didn't feel motivation for anything. So, desperate for an answer as to how to get out of this state, I dove into my thoughts, hoping that I could find the solution there. I thought about my life's purpose, my mission, what is the meaning of my life? Because maybe I was just doing the wrong things. And if I could find the right things, I'd get my spark back again. So I dissected my inner world like it was a puzzle, like there was a missing piece of information somewhere that would magically unlock my excitement and my motivation again. For months, I thought about it. And after I couldn't find the answer internally, I started searching externally. In books, theory, spirituality, philosophy. I thought that if I just kept thinking harder, analyzing more, find the right book, find the right theory, I'd find the missing piece of information. But the harder I thought, the emptier I felt. And that's when I began to realize something. You cannot think your way out of a feeling problem. When life feels empty and meaningless, it's not because it is, it's because our emotional connection to it is gone. Life is like an empty coloring page, and our feelings are the colors that bring it to life. Imagine training months for a performance. Then the day is finally there and you nail it. The crowd gives you a standing ovation, and while you're looking at the proud faces of your family, you feel nothing. You're mainly just glad that it's over and you didn't make a fool of yourself, but besides that, you feel numb. Do you think you describe that experience as fulfilling and meaningful? I'm guessing probably not. Now imagine yourself back on that stage. You're listening to the same cheering of the crowd, but this time you feel more than just a relief. While you look at the faces of your family, a rush of adrenaline shoots through your body, and you feel this warm feeling of gratitude and love in your heart, and you feel proud. You feel your whole body tingling with sensation. This is what you trained so hard for. Now let me ask you the same question again. Nothing changed about the performance. Nothing changed about the reaction of the crowd. The only thing that changed is your internal experience. Would you now describe this experience as fulfilling and meaningful? Every single dream or desire that you have is fueled by the promise of a certain feeling. We want the things that we want because of the feeling we believe having or experiencing these things will give us. So when you feel nothing, you lose your desire for anything. I want to give you another analogy. Imagine that you get the flu and you lose all of your sense of taste. Now, all of a sudden, eating becomes a lot less enjoyable, and it might even start feeling like an inconvenience. like a chore you have to do just to keep yourself alive. Something very similar happens when we experience a disconnection from our feelings and emotions. We still have to go to work and do our daily tasks, but everything has lost its flavor. Now imagine that instead of healing from the flu and getting your taste back, you would keep trying different foods, hoping that one will magically taste good. And that's what we're doing when we keep trying new experience after new experience while being emotionally numb. The solution isn't to try more things. The solution is to heal the connection to your feelings again. This disconnection is often caused by overwhelm. One emotionally intense experience or a long period of stress can push your nervous system into a sort of shutdown mode. Your body decides, this is too much, better to numb it out. And while that does help you get through the day, it also cuts you off from joy, meaning, and excitement. You can look at our emotions like a single volume knob. You can turn it down to avoid pain, but you'll also silence joy. And you can turn it up to experience joy more deeply, but you'll also open yourself up to deeper sadness. You can't adjust one without affecting them all. We also call this state of nervous system shutdown functional freeze. On the outside, you're still doing life. It looks like you're functioning just fine. But on the inside, you feel numb and disconnected. It's like you're moving through your life on autopilot without really living it. And the way out of this state isn't more thinking or chasing external experiences. It is reconnecting with your body and your emotions and regulating your nervous system. And I want to share 4 tips with you that can help you put this into practice. The first tip that I want to give you is to start by cutting out all unnecessary noise and stimuli from your life. So remove social media from your phone, limit the amount of news that you consume, turn off your notifications, and stop filling every empty moment with noise. Learn to get comfortable with silence and spend more time alone in nature. Because it's in that quiet space that you can learn to reconnect with yourself again. This second tip that I want to share with you is also going to help you with regulating your nervous system. And this tip is all about slowing down. When you feel yourself rushing, so walking fast, talking fast, moving fast, when you feel like that pressure of like, I need to hurry, stop yourself. Pause, slow down, and take a few deep breaths. And the difference that this can make when you do this multiple times during the day is insane. Because this is gonna help you also to feel more safe and more calm, which can allow more room to feel your other emotions. So I want you to experience what a few deep breaths can do for you. So I want to ask you to join me, taking 3 deep breaths. And on the last one, I want to ask you to pull up your shoulders and then let out with a sigh while dropping your shoulders again. Okay, so here we go. Breathe through your belly. Breathe in. Hold at the top and then out. In. Hold. And out. Last one, pull up your shoulders. Hold. Out with a sigh. Okay, so check in with your body for a moment. Can you feel the difference? In the past, I would always rush through my entire day, like with everything I did. And even then, I would love to go on walks, but I would always rush through them. Like I always felt this pressure of everything I still had to do. So it's like, I need to be back as quickly as I can. So I was like walking really fast. And instead of being calm and relaxed when I got back, I was more stressed. And now I have a totally different approach. I walk a lot slower. I'm looking around more, checking in with my body more. And when I see a bench and I feel like sitting down, I sit down. And now I actually feel relaxed when I come back. And I do this with everything now. When I feel that I'm rushing, I always slow myself down because it's never buying me time. It's just giving me more stress. The third tip is to get clear on the ways in which you avoid or escape your feelings. So this can be eating, scrolling on social media, losing yourself in work, or intellectualizing your feelings. Start noticing when you fall into one of these behaviors. For me, for example, when I'm working and I run into a task that's uncomfortable or frustrating, or I get stuck on something, I always grab my phone. And I often, like, this goes automatic, unconscious. Like, I often don't even realize that I ran into something uncomfortable or an uncomfortable emotion came up until I realize that I have my phone in my hand and I'm scrolling. And I would always have this with food, for example. Like, always when I ran into something that gave me some resistance with work or with when I was writing my thesis, this was really bad. I would always stand up to go to the kitchen to get food. And then when I was downstairs, I was like, I'm not even hungry. Why am I here again? And reflecting back, it was always in a moment that I got stuck. So I used my phone and food to get away from that. When you notice yourself getting into your avoidance patterns, ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid or escape? And then instead of going into the avoidance pattern, make space for the emotion. So you can write, do a breathing exercise, go on a walk, do yoga, whatever helps you connect with your body or make space for whatever is going on inside of you. And for me, for example, when I was running into the resistance with a certain task, instead of moving away from the task, it was actually facing the task and moving through the resistance. So it can be all kinds of ways in which you do this, but getting aware of it is the first step. And finally, the last tip that I want to share with you is, if you've been feeling emotionally numb or disconnected for a while, it can be super valuable to seek support from a body-focused psychotherapist or a somatic therapist, because they can create a safe environment for you where you can explore and process your feelings. And especially if you don't feel safe in your body yet, or you don't feel safe with your emotions because there was never space for them, or you never learned to feel them in a healthy or safe way, then they can really help you to spot emotional signals, but also to move through them and process them. And remember, the goal isn't to suddenly feel happy all the time. It's to start feeling again, to notice this spark of life that's hidden beneath the numbness. And I want to finish this video off by telling you this. When I was feeling emotionally numb, I feared that my life would forever feel empty. And I want to tell you right now that that is not true. So if you're currently in this state where everything feels meaningless, remember that the meaning is inside of your body. Your feelings are the meaning. But our focus is like a flashlight. When it's always pointed at our head, at our thoughts, then our feelings stay in the dark, unexpressed and unexperienced. So the goal is to start pointing the flashlight on the feelings again, so life gets its color back. Your task is this: cut out the noise. Slow down, reconnect to your feelings, and lean into the things that make you come alive.